Hello, and welcome to Phantom Talks. Hopefully, not too much about what I describe as the power trifecta or tactical power trifecta. Um, so, I will mention that I think Tense, Miranda, and CMV are the three core capos in Arena at the moment. Tomo is a tech in versus people who are poorly positioned, and as I'll show in here, the sort of edge case is also including the new Mex Tech Capo, who I've already forgotten the name of, which we'll go into a second. But quickly going through the opponent, they have a much stronger tense than me. Generally, their end is up, they have more fight power, and I just quickly skipped over his name. It's new. Augustin, that's right. So Augustin, with a nerf scale, shows a lot of potential, but just inherently doesn't have awakening, so isn't as strong as CMV, but has a lot of potential. Would love to have a max one so I could play around more with them. But for the moment, I'll call that the fourth of the trifecta, which doesn't make any sense anymore, but let's not worry about it. But the one that I'm demonstrating here is tactically using a Chica. So my Chica is, I don't know, 4 purple star or something, i.e. nowhere near max. And I am using her as the tech option versus an opponent that doesn't have an Ava. Oh, I should probably talk about the trifecta first. Trifecta I'm talking about are Javier, Ava, and Chica. If the opponent's lineup has an Ava, you essentially have to use Javier because, especially with the World Cup skin, disallowing crits basically nullifies Miranda being really strong. So just run Javier, counters their Ava, works really well. If they're not running Ava and they're not running Javier, you can just run your own Ava and just run over them, because Ava doing counterattacks on top of the dispel, on top of them not critting, on top of the fact that the dodges themselves means you don't take damage is pretty much straightforward win. And then, like this lineup, no Ava but a Javier, you shouldn't be running Ava on attack because their Javier counters it and they've got full accuracy. You don't need to run a Javier because they've got no Ava. So, and also because Augustin has this nerf, it makes a Chica doubly strong. So I'm fighting at HP deficit, pretty decent HP deficit, pretty decent fight power deficit. However, it still gets pretty exciting. But then, slowly but surely, the difference of having the third capo doing damage wins out. Just. Which is pretty exciting. But as I say, given that that was well talented, well gear, decent setup, being able to beat that is, not easy, and hopefully gives you some thoughts as far as like running that combo of, do you run Javier, do you run Ava, do you run a Chica? Again, my Chica's really weak, so that was a great example of, it doesn't even matter. Could you run some extra slot in there, so a Tomo or something else? And I guess I'm sort of skipping over the whole using Chio on attack discussion, but that's for a different day, really, I guess, because I want to keep this nice and short. Okay, hopefully it's provoked some thoughts, even if it's not the super in-depth explaining everything type thing, but you'll need to watch the accuracy versus dodge video, the arena one in general. Got a load of other stuff on it, but it's just a good example to show off.